The air in Gurgaon turned cold with horror on 10th July 2025 when a gunshot shattered the silence of Sushant Loktu, claiming the life of Radhika Yadav, a 25-year-old state-level tennis star, at the hands of her own father, Deepak Yadav. Picture this scene around 10:30 in the morning. As Radhika cooked in her kitchen, Deepak, aged 54, unleashed his licensed .32 bore revolver, firing multiple shots, 4 piercing her body, 3 in her back and 1 in her waist, ending her life in an instant. Her uncle, Kuldeep Yadav, living downstairs, heard the deafening explosion and raced up with his son Piyush, only to find Radhika collapsed in a pool of blood, the murder weapon abandoned in the drawing room. Despite their frantic dash to a private hospital, she was declared dead on arrival. Deepak now sits in custody, the police recovering the revolver, 5 empty shells, and 1 live cartridge, while a Gurgaon court granted one-day police custody on 11th July to dig deeper into this nightmare. Radhika Yadav, born on 23 March 2000, was no ordinary soul. She was upright, a tennis prodigy who climbed to a career-best ranking of 75 in girls under 18, 53 in women's doubles, and 35 in women's singles for the All India Tennis Association, and stood at 113 in women's doubles on the International Tennis Federation circuit by November 2024. Beyond the court, she ran a thriving tennis academy in Gurgaon, coaching high-profile clients, and even ventured into a music video, Karwa, released in 2024, which racked up over 21,000 views, showcasing her versatility. Yet, police investigations ruled out any link between her social media or the video as a motive, pinning the crime on Deepak's personal demons. This wasn't about fame, it was about control. The police uncovered a bitter truth: Deepak's rage stemmed from societal taunts that gnawed at his pride. Once a car parts shop owner, now living off rental income, he faced ridicule in his native Wazirabad village for living off his daughter's earnings. Station House Officer Inspector Vinod Kumar revealed Deepak had been stewing for months, tormented by neighbors' jabs that the household ran on Radhika's income, leaving him feeling emasculated. He demanded she shut down her academy, but her steadfast refusal ignited his resentment. This was premeditated. Deepak sent his son out for groceries to isolate Radhika before pulling the trigger. Though some speculated about an intercaste marriage or her online presence, the police found no evidence, pointing instead to Deepak's wounded ego as the driving force. It's a chilling reminder of how deeply patriarchy runs in our veins. This tragedy mirrors the stubborn grip of patriarchal norms across our society, even in urban hubs like Gurgaon. Deepak's insecurity about depending on his daughter exposes how we tie a man's worth to being the sole provider, a belief that crumbles when women like Radhika shine. The taunts from his community struck at his fragile masculinity, reflecting a culture that punishes men for letting daughters succeed and women for stepping beyond traditional roles. Radhika's success as an athlete and entrepreneur challenged the notion that men must dominate, turning her achievements into a threat to his authority. She was killed by patriarchy, ego, and male pride, a toxic mix fueled by neighbors who mocked Deepak yet stayed silent against this stigma, complicit in creating the pressure cooker that exploded. Radhika's refusal to close her academy was a bold assertion of her agency, a right to chase her dreams and independence. Yet, in our patriarchal world, such autonomy is often labeled defiance. Women excelling in male-dominated fields like sports or gaining financial freedom frequently face resistance, from subtle disapproval to deadly violence. Her case echoes others: honor killings and dowry deaths, where women pay for transgressing norms. The All India Women's Conference's 2024 report showed over 40% of gender-based violence cases involve family, a statistic that hit home when I learned a friend's sister faced threats for pursuing her career. The neighbors' praise for Radhika's politeness masked their failure to challenge the stigma, a silence that enabled this tragedy. Are we, as a society, mocking men for supporting their daughters' success rather than their violence? Despite our progress, female sports participation rising to 35% by 2025 per the Sports Authority of India, and workforce inclusion at 27% according to the World Bank, patriarchy's roots remain deep. The World Economic Forum's 2024 Global Gender Gap Report placed us at 129th out of 146 countries, highlighting economic disparities for women. In Gurgaon, where modernity brushes against tradition, women like Radhika walk a tightrope between ambition and familial pressure. Deepak's act reflects our collective anxiety about shifting gender dynamics, where family honor and male pride collide with women's empowerment, often with tragic results. Just last week, a similar case in Jaipur saw a father disown his daughter for her business success, a pattern we can't ignore. Tackling this demands a united effort. We need education campaigns to celebrate women's independence and challenge toxic masculinity, building on Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao to address men's societal pressures. Communities must break their silence, fostering dialogue to dismantle harmful stereotypes, perhaps starting with local panchayats, where 60% of decisions still favor male dominance per a 2024 study. Mental health support, scarce with only 0.3 psychiatrists per 100,000 people per WHO 2025 data, is vital to help men and women navigate rigid roles, as feminist scholar Carol Gilligan's Moral Injuries concept suggests. Our legal system must enforce domestic violence laws swiftly. Conviction rates linger at 12% in 2024 for the Ministry of Women and Child Development. Investing in sports for women with mentorship programs can create safe spaces honoring Radhika's legacy. Radhika's murder is a gut-wrenching wake-up call, a loss driven by her father's pride and societal taunts, exposing our fragile progress. As we mourn this talented athlete taken from us just 2 days ago, we must confront the patriarchy that enabled this. Her story, resonating with the 2012 Nirbhaya outrage that birthed change, calls us to act, dismantling norms, supporting survivors, and building a society where women thrive without fear. Let's commit to her memory, push for equality, and ensure no more lives are lost to this insidious force. Join me, share this plea, and let's forge a future of justice together.